before swords were lifted, before walls fell, before victory was visible. God had already spoken. After 40 long years in the wilderness, the children of Israel finally stood on the edge of the land. God had promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses was gone, but God had raised a new leader, faithful, courageous, and obedient. His name was Joshua, and the first obstacle standing between Israel and God's promise was a city that looked impossible to conquer. Its name was Jericho, a city built on fear. Jericho was no ordinary city. It was ancient, wealthy, and heavily fortified. Its walls were thick and towering so wide that homes were built upon them. Its gates were shut tight. Its people were afraid. Word had already spread through the land. God had parted the Red Sea. God had defeated powerful kings. God was with Israel. Jericho didn't trust its walls, but it had no other hope. And as Joshua looked at the city, he knew something crucial. This battle could not be won by human strength. God's promise before the battle. One night, Joshua stood near Jericho, deep in thought. Suddenly, a man stood before him with a drawn sword. Joshua asked, "Are you for us or for our enemies?" The man replied, "No, but as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come." Joshua fell face down in reverence. He was standing on holy ground. Then God spoke clearly to Joshua, "See, I have given Jericho into your hands, its king and its mighty warriors." The battle was already decided before a single stone had fallen. An unusual strategy. God's instructions were not what Joshua expected. No ladders, no battering rams, no siege. Instead, God commanded. The armed men would march around the city once a day. 7 priests would carry trumpets made from ram's horns. The Ark of the Covenant would go before them. The people must remain completely silent. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, the people walked. The trumpets sounded. The walls remained unmoved. Faith was being tested not by danger, but by waiting. 6 days of silent obedience. Day after day, the people marched. Children walked quietly. Soldiers held their weapons without using them. Priests blew the trumpets faithfully. The men of Jericho watched from the walls, mocking, laughing, confused. Is this their plan? Is this their God? But Israel obeyed. Obedience doesn't always look powerful. Sometimes it looks foolish, till God moves. The 7th day, the moment of faith. On the 7th day, everything changed. Joshua commanded the people to rise early. This time, they marched around the city 7 times. The air was tense. Hearts were pounding. Faith was reaching its peak. After the 7th lap, Joshua shouted, "Do not keep silent. Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." The trumpets blasted. The people cried out with one voice. And suddenly, the earth trembled. The walls cracked. Stone collapsed upon stone. The mighty walls of Jericho fell flat, not by power, not by might, but by the Spirit of the Lord, mercy behind the walls. One section of the wall still stood. There lived a woman named Rahab. She had believed in the God of Israel. She had hidden the spies. She had tied a scarlet cord in her window. Because of her faith, Rahab and her family were spared. From destruction came redemption. Jericho teaches us eternal truths. God goes before his people. Faith requires obedience even when it doesn't make sense. Silence can be an act of trust. Shouting comes after patience. Walls fall when God says they fall. You may be facing a Jericho of your own, a wall too high, too strong, too impossible. But remember, God gives the victory before the battle begins. Walk in faith, trust his word, and when the time comes, shout, because no wall can stand against the promises of God. Subscribe and share.